Alright, we are all set up and ready to go. So, yeah, we're back in Factorio. So I'm just gonna unpause and try to remember what we were doing. And I have no idea. I think we were just running around doing general upgrades. Right, we had just added this additional iron ore train. So we have that down there, and hopefully that will provide enough iron ore for everything. And then we should just move on to adding something new. Or probably fixing other problems. Because I think, yeah, we discovered this last time. That we're not getting enough copper sheets. So, I mean, this is like mostly filled, but just because it isn't being used, I think. So if we run over to here and we go and click that, trains with this stop. So we have one waiting at that, one waiting there. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to give a train limit of 1. And it looks like that's... something has immediately happened. I don't know if it's good, though. Looks like we have a couple trains sitting down here at the copper output. That one's nearly full. And this one is empty, probably. Alright, we should head down and investigate manually, see if there's anything going wrong down there, and if we just need to add anything extra. Alright, let's expand this path down south. Obviously we're not going to go all the way, but having a sort of express line down to there at least should be nice. And then this path will be helpful to have. And we're just gonna... Alright, we've run out, so now we're just gonna walk normally. Alright. Down towards the copper. You know, it might be a good idea to just have a car just like in my inventory, so that if I have to make longer trips like this, I can just hop in a car and do it that way. Alright, how is this copper going? It is certainly going. It looks like we have the entire patch covered except for that tiny bit up there. And it also looks like the patch is starting to run dry. So it's down to 1 million. It still seems like that's a lot. But it's not outputting very quickly at all. It's not any backlogs, at least. So this is filling up the train properly. However, this is also only a 1x2 train, which is not ideal. Alright, so there is more copper patches, like up there. Yeah, pretty much that one and that one. Oh, there's also another... Is that... Did I just see another one down here? Yeah, and then there's that one. Okay, well, there isn't all that much I can do here to speed these things up. Right? Like, this is just about going as fast as it's going to go. And that's pretty much it. So, let's see here. If we could run down and add that. It's pretty close to a train line. And it's also not like it's not like it's near biters or anything. So let's just head down and add that on real quick, just to say that we have it. Gosh, I cannot wait for this Covarex enrichment process to be finished, so we can move on to any other research. Alright, so that's the iron patch we added. The copper is all the way down here. And then I'm going to take a turn to the west. Right about here. Oh, and there is apparently a biter's nest right there. That's annoying, but not exactly surprising. Alright, someone fill in that power pole, please. Okay, I'll do it manually. Alright. Lost a laser turret somewhere, but that's probably fine. Big electrical pole goes in there, and that will let us hook up to this turret box. Okay, and we have seemingly triggered an attack. That's not good. We run. Alright, if we run through the forest, that should help a lot. Just in slowing them down. Definitely not ideal what happened there. I'm hitting space and it is not firing my gun. Alright, we seem to have dealt with those at least. So now we have to run down here and try to... Okay, this is not going to work. We're going to need... We are going to need a car or a tank or something for this. Just because they're... We built too close to the biters on the first try. Alright, so let's build a tank. And place that in. We fuel it up. Give it some ammo. And yeah, we don't have a tank cannon or anything, so we're just going to have to deal with that. And now we should be significantly more secure. Yeah, it would be nice if I could do anything with my tank turret, which I have. And also it would be nice if I didn't run into a random rock every so often. Alright, how do I swap that? Ah, there we go. I was in the tank cannon setting, not the machine gun. Alright. Now we should be good to go. And we can help out as well with our own tank power. not terribly effective. We are getting through. There we go. And then just a couple of those. And some regular old biters. Alright. And nest cleared. Alright, that was a bit more annoying than I would have liked, but we got through it eventually. So now let's just take down all that junk. Alright, now we go to this copper patch, and we build in a bunch of miners. How many of these do I need? I'm going to need a lot of them, probably. So let's queue up like 12-ish. And then start putting walls around this. Alright, and then we go up there. And then across there, and then across there, I guess. It looks like we're going to be dismantling some of those cliffs that I was relying on to cover. Alright, then this wall needs to go, and it needs to just be a full square. There we go. And now we just run along and build all of these in. Alright, so we have that. Next we put in the miners. Actually, did I ever make... I did end up making a blueprint of these at some point. So... we can put that in there. And then just go along like that. And let's see, we're going to need more of these electric mining drills, which means we need more resources to build them with. I guess we'll try to just get all of the other stuff set up as well. Also, this top belt is facing the wrong way, which is not ideal. But there we go. So that's everything but the mining drills built. And now let's queue up some more mining drills. And run over here to hopefully find some resupplies. And we're just going to run north until we find them. Alright, resupplies, where are you? There you are. And boom. And those ones are going past me for some reason. Yeah, I guess they're all stopping to recharge at various places. Alright. Our gun turret is being destroyed. That's fine, though. We really just need a bunch of plates brought down to us. And also, obviously, a whole bunch of other random junk. Like construction drones, apparently. Alright, up we go. there's a buffer chest here, which should help. Does this buffer chest have any iron plates? Not really. Alright, I think we need to probably just finally get around to automating electric mining drills. And we don't need huge numbers of them, so we can do it with the requester chest method, which I'm starting to like a lot. But we are standing here right next to that buffer chest, and we are not getting resupplied at all. Alright, there we are. Now we're getting resupplied some. So let's queue up even more of those. And even more. And this should hopefully be enough, at least to get started. We should get most of the copper down there with these. We have quite a few now. So we're just going to run down. And I should probably honestly start concrete pathing this, because it seems like I'm going to be down here not a zero amount of time. So just being able to make this trip a little bit faster will probably help at some point in the future. It's not like concrete is a huge shortage right now anyways. Alright, so those can all get put in. I need a gate there. And then we're short on mining drills again, but that's fine. We can get those in later when we're doing the train stuff. I think that gun turret is possibly the same. Oh no. We had belts and such being destroyed briefly there. Where was that? It was here. So this corner is being attacked now. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, and apparently I had a car parked there that got destroyed as well. That's entertaining whenever that happens. Alright, so that's as far up as that's going to go in the short term. And then we receive these. Alright, then this attack is just a normal one, which has been dealt with. Alright, we're going to keep on running up this way. And see if we should probably reinforce that corner that has been being attacked recently. Okay, I think what's happening here is that there are a lot of drones and not enough recharge space down here. So I think I probably want to just like give you another one there, just so that you have options and some of them can go over there to recharge. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. There we go. And we should run all the way up to the main base. And yeah, there's all sorts of problems like this. So I think we just make these 2 row reports in a row. That should should double up on the charging there, which I think will probably help. And this sort of problem just exists everywhere in this general vicinity, so I think we're just going to keep doing that. And yeah, production is no concern at all. Yeah, let's keep making sure that the robots have places to charge as they head far south. There we go. And we get one here. I don't know if this actually helps or not. It probably does, right? Like, these are clearly waiting in line for charging. And now these are getting charged more quickly. And probably just a couple more of those. And I guess we can even put one there. Alright, so that whole line should be able to move drones a lot faster now. So that's pretty neat. And then, let's see, what we want to do is, right, we're heading back here to bulk up these defenses here. So we have 2 gun turrets, but they're behind, like, these trains. Also, we seem to have a deadlock in this area, which we should fix. Alright, so let's head out to probably just out here. I see I have another defensive line up this way that this can connect into. Alright, and now we just pop the occasional laser turret in. And drag that a bit further south. And another laser turret there. And that one will get a box around it because it's going to be on a corner. And now we just have to get all these turrets powered up. And hopefully that'll be adequate defenses, and then we just need to figure out what's going on here. Alright, so first of all, you were stopped in an intersection, which is not ideal. It means that that needs to be that instead. Also, it seems like I need more of those. So let's just queue up another bunch of chain signals. And now to figure out what is going on here. So, you are not entering blue because this is technically blue. So I just make that a separate thing. And then I should also make sure that these are chain signals. So you're a chain signal, and you're a chain signal, and you're a chain signal. Alright, so that is solved, I think. Alright, and then biters seem to be attacking that, despite the fact that it isn't powered on or anything. Annoying. Alright, let's take a tank ride down there. And I think this is faster than running. It's definitely more fun than running. So down we go. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Cannot knock down any power lines. And it looks like they're still just chewing away at those walls. But they haven't gotten through yet somehow. So that's nice. And if this is faster, it's not much faster, so I definitely should have done this. Also, that tiny little puddle has stopped me. Alright, they have gotten through a wall. Alright. Now we just steamroll through this forest real quick. And we knock out another power pole. And apparently leave the truck running. Alright. So that's fine. We just gotta put that power pole back in real quick. And also craft up some more electric mining drills to finish this off. There we go. Why are only like 2 drones doing anything? I have a lot more than like 2 drones. I guess probably they just hadn't been finished crafting yet. That makes sense. Alright, now we just need laser turret coverage. Especially on that side, since there are objectively biters there that are attacking. Then these other sides can get lighter coverage. Like that. And now we just drag the power lines in. Alright, and get stuck on a miner. There we go. That is all defended. And now let's go and pick up our tank, because we want to keep that. And should I wipe out this nest? It's a pretty tiny nest. Let's just draw these guys in to make sure the defenses work. Yep, they do. And yeah, I don't know. Taking out a biter nest is a lot of work. We don't really need to. Alright, so now we just need to make sure that that is going this way, because this is where the thing is. Oh wait, that's not secure. Because this is in biter-infested areas, we do want that to be a wall, so underground belt it is. Alright, now we need to set up a train stop for this. So we get the loader, which can load in, I guess, there will hopefully fit. And then the copper can come down here. And because this is only a single belt, we need to put another splitter there. Alright, so that all goes in there. And then we're going to need to see if this keeps up with the output, and the answer is it probably won't. Alright, so in order to make this go quicker... Oh wait, no, that has to be belts because there are machines exactly there. So we take just that last one out. We bring those across. And then we loop them back in. So now we should be using just about as much of the belt as is possible. And filling up some boxes. Alright, now we put the trains in. Also, we're going to need to get drone coverage here. That's also going to be necessary for repairs and such. Alright, so that goes there. I really hate it when it assigns a drone from 50 miles away to do the work. I understand why it does, but it's annoying. Alright, and then that's there. Probably should have that be walled in. I mean, obviously the other ones are just out in the open, but at least some pretense of defenses, right? Alright, so now we have all that. The next step is connecting this train snippet up to the main line. So, we have the trains go up this way. So this is not where I want that to be. What I want is to find a train stop and set it going up this way and put it there. Then grab the refueler blueprint, pop that in there. And apparently we can get access by supplies down here, so that's nice. So this is going to be a copper output number 2, which obviously they're not going to be able to reach this, but that's fine. Okay, what is that? One entity is missing. A car. Alright, we don't want there to be a car there. I'm not sure why they decided that that was a good place to put a car. Alright, so now we go down here and we take that out and we curve it up into there. Although, actually, that's going to require going straight past the uranium stop to get here. Okay, hang on. This whole area is a bit not the best. So I think I need to... I'm going to need to fix this. So this is the train line going down, right? But we need an option for this to not stop anywhere. So I guess the only realistic place to put that is going to be over this way. So I guess we can just do that. And then run along getting all of this stuff in. And we have to wait for the drones to be slow and inconvenient. Because of course we do. How much uranium mining are we even doing? Can't be all that much. So yeah, we're once again waiting for drones from random parts of the map to come over here and dismantle these trees. It's literally faster for me to hand mine them than to wait for the trees. Alright. There we go. Now that got missed for some reason. Okay, that's not good. We need to get rid of that nest. It's too close to this construction site, basically. So we can pull some of those off. And then we need... Where's our tank? Tank. Fill it with ammo. Give it some fuel. Hop in. And now we blow up some fires. Alright. Hello, move. Tank. The tank decided to just stay put and not go anywhere. Because of course it did. And we were almost through one of the... spawning points as well. Alright, can I just craft another tank? I can. But I think when it blows up you lose the ammo in it, which sucks. Tank, ammo, fuel. Alright, let's finish this off. We got an achievement for blowing up trees. I'm holding down space and firing, and it's only occasionally bothering to shoot at anything. Alright, well we got... Now we just need to not die. And we have succeeded. Yeah, it would be really nice if it fired, like, reliably whenever I held down space. That would make killing stuff with tanks a lot easier. But we did get rid of everything but the worms there. And the drones are not cooperating at all. Why not? Did I run out? I might have just completely run out of construction drones. They might have all died. Yeah, I think all my personal construction drones just died. Can I just grab some of you? Alright, I have them, and now they're just sitting there doing nothing. Personal roboport, please. Okay, there we go. Guess we have to wait for that. And... oh, geez, that does a lot of damage. Alright, so laser turrets go in. Try to keep him powered. Alright. Take all that down. Those worms are pretty nasty. Those worms are pretty annoying. So, we need to deal with them. And I think the solution is just a turret box setup. So we get the big electrical pole. And I only have 18 construction robots on me at the moment, so this isn't going to build fast enough, probably. But, I don't know, hopefully they'll shoot at the wrong things, like they'll shoot at walls and stuff. There we go. And now this is just a medium worm, so I can just run in and kill that one easily. Alright, problem solved. And we lost 2 tanks trying to do that. And seemingly a large number of drones. Alright. But now we have this convenient little thing over here. So you get to be different, and we're going to put some more signals on, just like down here. And then we are going to run over here. And we just need to link this back up to that. Alright, just something like that ought to work. And now we wait for the drones to do the drone thing. So that goes in there. And that goes in there. Alright, cool. So that's nice. And then we just need some signals there and there, so that that doesn't cause any issues, hopefully. And that should be fine. Alright, so now I think we just put in another copper. Do we have the resources? No, we do not have the resources to put in another train for that. So we're just going to have to head back. And it looks like there was a... Looks like there's another traffic jam. So let's run up and fix that again. The traffic jams never end. I think all last stream we had like 1. But we are back to the normal amount, which is approximately 1 every 5 minutes. So let's continue building this road. Up we go. And yeah, we're getting massive reloads going on here. This is vanilla. I do not have the Space Age DLC. I will probably get it once I finish the game. But for now, we're just going vanilla. Alright, I think we need to produce more construction bots. Or at least, like, maneuver them to the right locations, because I'm not seeing them. Like, I only have 20, and the production of them seems... I only have 20 right now, and they don't seem to be being refilled. So we're going to have to do something about that. But first, let's head up here. Why are these guys all stuck? Okay, the reason they're stuck is because this is somewhat badly designed. So that has to be chain signal. We'll make that a chain signal as well. And then we have some funny business here. So you... okay, I see. So we just need... but why are you going back there? Alright, so that's the next thing we need, is that to go in there. Although I don't know why. But it seems like that has helped a little bit. Yeah, I think that might have fixed it. So you're making the loop. So that was the problem, is you're going on like this entire thing. I wonder how to, if there's a good way of fixing that so that it's not an issue. Who knows? But the trains are moving again, so that's all that matters. And how did this corner just get attacked? I don't see anything here. Alright. So first of all, you can just have better ammo. And second of all, you get some lasers support, I guess. Alright, this place is suddenly very busy. Now that that deadlock has been cleared, there are a lot of trains running around in this area. So let's find where our construction drones get made and see why they aren't getting made. I imagine I've just turned it off because I didn't need them, because I have like a huge amount in the logistics network. Yeah, that is pretty much exactly what's happened. Which one's this? Is this one the construction drones? It is. So you get those, but I think we disconnect that so that this box can supply me with personal construction drones. And that should be that dealt with. And as far as personal logistics drones, I seem to have plenty. Okay, a power pole was destroyed somewhere, and now a whole bunch of railway stuff is getting damaged. Oh, that's a lot of biters. That's a lot of biters. Okay, retreat. Alright. That's that individual attack dealt with, and then that's just going to mean that this entire area... Oh, I just walked through a pool of acid. That was silly. This entire area is going to need to be defended with laser turrets. We're not short on power anymore, so that is not an issue. And we need more, whatchamacallits, more gates. There we go. And we'll put a laser turret there as well. And that should be safe again. And then we don't need these ones sitting here outside the walls. We're just going to put some more coverage in there. So that should keep that oil pipe secure, which is very important. Alright, Cobrex enrichment is up to 90%. which is pretty neat. Now this steel production, I don't know what all this steel is making necessarily, but we clearly need more of it. So, did we ever get to steel production in the new factory? We did. Alright. So is it as easy as just, let's see, logistic storage steel plates is 0. I assume that the logistic storage for steel plates is being fed from this. So let's head up and feed that from a place that actually has it. And run more of those as we go. And let's make those underground belts so that that trip can be easier. And then we can zoom up here. Walking on pre-built paths is so nice. So what I want to do is just put a passive provider chest by the steel production so that we can have access to steel more easily, and then we can divert some of it to keep the old factory going properly. Don't want to send too much to do that, but a little bit will be helpful. Alright, and then we are going to want to just run this pathway over here. Alright, so this is not getting enough iron plates, it seems. And we do have a passive provider chest. It is just empty. Okay. That's somewhat annoying to discover. So, steel is not getting made because there's no iron. Iron is not getting made because why? I did just go through a whole process of upgrading my iron ore production. So that shouldn't be a problem in theory. Alright. Just have to run all the way down here. There are plenty of plates going to the green circuits. Plenty of plates going to the gears. Alright, so this is filling up slowly. It's filling up very slowly because the ore is still an issue. So you are just filling up. And I could have sworn there are more trains on the iron ore route. Did I, like, not finish this or something? No, I did. It's just seemingly not... Alright. So either all the iron ore production we have isn't keeping up, or the trains aren't keeping up. So this is a somewhat lengthy route. I wish I could, like, check the contents of these boxes to know how full they're getting by the time this train returns. Okay, the answer is nothing is happening. Alright, that is the opposite of what we want to have happen. We want it to sit there and fill up for ages. And and carry thousands upon thousands of iron ore. So let's head on down and figure out what's going on. Alright, we should make this path more official. It's a little bit janky, but at least it's in now. It seems like this is a trip that we take a lot now. Oh, almost got hit by that train, almost got hit by that train. Alright. So we are over here now. And we just have to walk south. Eventually we should encounter more concrete paths to walk on, which will speed us up. Alright. I think I see the problem, which is that that train is headed down there and it's already mostly full. Or if not entirely full. Okay, here's the path, so we can hop on this. So it might be a train setting problem, as opposed to a mistake with the output. Because, yeah, I mean, that train's just headed straight back. Alright, so we have plenty of iron ore here. Lots of full boxes. Then this train is set. Oh, this is backwards, isn't it? Alright, so we need to preferably wait for it to be somewhere out of the way, not like on the middle of the track somewhere where it's going to cause problems. Alright, so yeah, it's going to come all the way down here. And we're going to set it to manual mode here. Alright, so it goes to the input until it's empty, and it goes to the output until it's full. And it is currently full, so it should immediately leave. Alright, so off it goes. Now it should go to an output stop until it's empty. And then the other thing I think is that some of the stops on the old factory are named backwards because I hadn't figured out how I wanted to name things when I was building them. Are you mining enough iron ore for your steel? I'm not. Well, I'm mining enough. It's just the trains are messed up. So I figured out what is causing that. Now we just have to run over here and finish doing all those fixes. Alright. So we get to this one over here, and this should be labeled as iron ore output. But it isn't. So we set that. So many intersections with no signals. I'm pretty sure they're all I'm pretty sure all my intersections are signaled. I mean, I don't have that many. Most of the deadlocks are because of like the signals are the wrong type of signals, but they are signaled. Alright. So then this is set to iron ore input. Where is that? Alright, so that is set there. This train goes to the output until it's full, or goes to the input until it's empty. And is that the wrong one right now? But I guess eventually the 5 seconds of inactivity will happen. And it'll sort itself out, hopefully. Alright, and then we have another problem up there, because of course we do. The train signal problems. I will figure out how to fix them all one of these days, but for now we're just chipping away at them one by one. And it's mostly just regular block signals where there should be chain signals. Alright, so you are stuck there. Alright, so first of all, why is that a chain signal? There's actually just no reason for that to be a chain signal. So that can be a regular old block signal. And that won't help all that much, probably. So then we have this, which can't go because that's in the way. That's stuck because this guy is in. How did you get past the chain signal? You shouldn't have done that. Oh, it's because of this stupid little mini section here. Alright, so I think that needs to not exist. Because it saw that that little miniature block was free and decided it could go through the chain signal when it definitely couldn't. Alright, so then you're stuck because you're in the way. And you're here. Alright, first of all, this should be a chain signal. And you are here because of... Where are you going? You're trying to go straight through. You should be able to. I don't see why... Oh, it's because this guy is in here. Alright. So you can't go through that whole area because this is all one big section. Then this guy is stuck because that guy is stuck. Gosh, this is just an abomination. Alright. Yeah, I need to get to my blueprints and figure out where all the signals are supposed to be. So you are blocking off this whole intersection. So let's fix that by just popping a chain signal there so you won't go in. And then also, like we learned in the other one, that needs to go away. Alright. Where do we go to even start unraveling this whole thing? And then, because then it loops back in onto itself, because this isn't moving, because this guy isn't moving, who isn't moving because that's moving. Yep, that's what I'm doing now, but when I set up these blueprints the first time, I didn't do that, and so now it's all messed up. And there are a lot of them, so it's tedious to fix. Alright, so we should be able to... at least, like, temporarily fix it. You just go over here somewhere. And then back to manual mode. And hopefully that will cause everything to start. Yeah, so that's looking good. Alright, I seem to have fixed it. At least here. And I should really I should really go to the blueprints and try to make a more permanent fix so that the new stuff that I place isn't also messed up. Alright, so this should all unravel and start working again. Yeah, it looks like trains are moving. There we go. Alright, so let's head over... Let's head over to some empty space off to the west, plop down a train square blueprint, and fix it. Alright, how do you get through this wall? I need a gate here. There we go. Alright, now we are out here. And step a little bit far away. Okay. This is gonna suck to build. So that goes in there. And now we're gonna have to build all of this. Apparently still short construction bots in my personal inventory. It's been a while since I received a drone resupply, I think. Yeah, we're low on a couple of things. So we just have to build this and then figure out how this all works and where the signals need to be chain signals. And then we're going to have to do the far worst part of going into it, and those biters better not bug me. Let's put some laser turrets in there. Oh, this whole thing isn't actually connected to power. Alright. So some construction drone, go pop that in. And then connect that across. Alright, so now if the biters try to mess with me, I at least have a good, secure 4 laser turrets to deal with them. And that should help. So now we get the whole square built. These things are really annoying to build temporarily. Okay, there are also biters up north, apparently. Apparently we are simply surrounded by biters. So we're going to run down here to right next to the other biter nest. And get rid of all of them. Alright, now we run back up this way and place more laser turrets in to cover this corner, apparently. Alright, so that should... I mean, it's going to annoy the biters, and they're just going to keep on attacking from that angle. But they shouldn't be able to get through. Alright, so now I need to head back to the base and grab resupply of all the things that I'm missing, which is apparently a lot of things. I'm down concrete walls, or I'm down concrete floors, and I'm down railways. Alright, and I should also get crafting some more of those. So we're always short of those. Alright, where is the drones? I don't see like any drones at all anywhere. Power is still fine. Alright, the drones are doing various things, obviously. But where... Alright, there we go. They did find me here. And I'm not sure what they did, because I'm still short on most of the things that I was short on before they showed up. I think I need more buffer chests. Just like placed around. I think that should help. So you get assigned basic and crafting. So hopefully that will speed up me getting resupplied in this general vicinity. But, alright, here come some railways. So there we go. We're getting all of that in. And that should be good. We don't need that much stuff. At least just to do this quick task. We were short on railways, explosives, and train signals, which we now have all of those. So let's head over. Still no concrete in sight. Is there just a straight up concrete production problem? Yeah, there is. I'll check that out after I fix this blueprint. Alright, may as well stop and let this wave of railways get delivered. Pretty soon, so once I finish this Kovarex upgrade, I have some drone-like speed and carry capacity upgrades that I can do, which should help that out a lot. Alright, so the drones all go in here. And now all this stuff gets placed in. And alright, we're just gonna have to get rid of this biter nest. Shouldn't be too hard. We just pop you in there. Please, someone build the power pole. That's the important part. Alright. So now all of those are gone. That area is permanently cleared out. The reason that it's urgent we do that is we don't want to have these random laser turrets in the blueprint. I was standing in a pool of acid, as I have a bad habit of doing. Alright. So, we need to figure out where the intersections go, and it's a lot harder to tell on this because of the way that it is. Also, we have these power poles, which aren't currently in the way, but could potentially be in the way in the future, depending on where the other rails go. Like, I think that one is fine, but it also might not be. Because we definitely have had issues in the past with power poles overriding other rails. So I think this is fine as long as we just don't get this one out here, because I'm not sure about that one. But assuming that this is symmetrical, this shouldn't be in the way. Although maybe we can just move it a little bit further south just to help with that. Alright, so now for the signaling. Oh, this is the hard part. So we have the inside track. The trains go this way. And then they go out onto this. So I think these are supposed to be chain signals. Because I think this... So this is going to be the whole intersection area there. So if we make those chain signals, and we make that a chain signal because it's going in, right, then these are going out, and that's fine. Problem, it's hard to tell with how because of how these overlap, it's not always easy to tell how exactly they're going to end up working out. But you get chain signals there. I think this is the one which needs to go away. Right? Because it's... Or maybe not. No, there's some signals in here that I need to remove. But it's hard to tell which ones they are because the single blueprint version looks so very different than the actual practical version in construction. Alright, so those are coming out of the intersection. This is going into an intersection, so that should be a chain signal. This is going into an intersection. So that and that should be chain signals. And, oh, it's this one which needs to go away. Because it makes that short little section there, which we don't want. Then that is a chain signal because it goes in. Now we head down to here. Those are chain signals because they go in. That signal is definitely wrong. I don't know what it's doing there. And then we have this. I think that's supposed to be a chain signal. And then those are all fine. And then we're back to here. Alright, we're going to have to do another loop to make sure that I didn't miss any of the tiny little segment mistakes. Because this whole thing should just have... Yeah, so I think this is good now. I think this is now correct. So we are going to save that as train square v2, and then dismantle this because it's going to be in the way in a moment when we build an actual thing. And apparently we're going to take down an entire forest while we do it. And that's fine. As long as the drones are up to the task. Yeah. 960 some entities are missing construction bots. Yeah, taking this down is going to take a while. And actually it's going to take so long that... Okay, well they took that drone port out. I was going to say is that it's going to take so long that I think I actually want to leave these drone ports in and then connect them up to help with the deconstruction. So you get power. You get power. And you get power. And now, with that, we're getting huge swarms of drones coming along to take this apart much more efficiently than I could realistically do without them. Yeah, it would have taken ages to replicate that. Although it seems we've managed to break it again. We keep relying on infrastructure that it turns out was set to dismantle. Alright, so then we just need this to come over here and bring the power along. And it's all... Whenever you try to use drones to build a long power line, there's always one which just decides to take forever for no good reason. Alright, but now we can dismantle this whole section, and then it'll all be cleared out. And it'll also be nice and available for construction in the future. Alright, so that all goes away. It looks like a couple of them gave up at the last minute. Okay, those are just hanging around recharging, I assume. Yeah, the recharging process for this is gonna be a lot of power, probably. Look at that spike there. That's a big spike. Unfortunately, we have like infinite nuclear power, basically, so that's not an issue. They keep attacking. Where are these attacks happening? It's this corner again. For some reason, that corner is just like the most heavily attacked corner of the entire base for no good reason. Alright, take those out just to finish that off. And then we dismantle the drone ports. And this is officially done. Alright, so that is that. Now we just need to use the new blueprint instead of the old one whenever we build new train squares, and then also go back and manually fix the problems whenever they cause jams in the stuff that I've already built. Alright, now let's check, because I did all sorts of stuff with the iron plates before I got distracted with other stuff. Oh, but I'd also realized that we had a concrete problem. So let's head down there and see what is wrong with concrete. So down we go. Actually, where is our concrete production? I feel like it's in here somewhere. I don't know for certain. It's going to be this way and then a bit south. Yeah, and then on the other side of all these power storages is the concrete. And somewhat unsurprisingly, it's not getting much concrete through. Wait, how is this even... Okay, so it's input on that side, stone bricks, iron ore. The iron ore is fine, the stone bricks are not making it through because we have all of this landfill, which I don't know why this is producing so much. Oh, don't do that. Do that instead. So we want to stop making huge quantities of landfill, just have a little bit. Oh, I know what it is. Because the landfill is in my personal logistics basics section, whenever I place down a new buffer chest, it wants to make another 100. Which is annoying. And then also this whole stone area is still incredibly cursed. Because it's literally just being filled by this requester chest, and even these have run out at this point. The incredibly silly, poorly designed temporary systems are continuing. But this should stop producing landfill soon, right? Like, it's not just going to do this forever. How does it take so much to make landfill? Where is that? It's 50 stone for one landfill. Yeah, that is complete insanity. And obviously some of the stone is getting through though somehow. Not sure how. I'm going to deactivate the second landfill producer. We simply do not need both of those. And that'll help more of this get through to this, which is apparently making walls. And then the concrete is like the last priority in this whole setup. Alright, so the answer is basically we just need to untemporarify our stone production, because that whole thing is just a giant nightmare. Alright, so we continue to just run up north, and hopefully at least the iron shortage will have been solved in this time, now that we fixed the train instructions to not be the wrong thing. Alright. Apparently it's not looking good, although we do have a train coming in just now. It's going to stop and it's going to unload a whole bunch of iron ore. So that is looking correct, at least. Like, we have our train, it's unloading a bunch of iron ore into the system and making a bunch of iron plates. I don't know where those two went. Why are there just randomly... How did that even happen? Who knows? Alright, so this is going to go until it's empty. And that should be fine. So now we are producing, like, not even that much iron plates, but hopefully enough. Alright, and then that train is going to have to leave because it's out. But we do have some stuff in these boxes. Let's see how long that runs. Is this that same corner again? Yeah, probably. Alright, so this is... I mean, it's doing fine as far as running once the train is left. Although it would be nice if there were another train that was, like, soon coming on its way. Alright, so that is... It does look like iron ore is producing, though, which is fine. I just don't know what, like, is the limit the train throughput? Is the limit the ore output? It's one of those two, but I don't know which. So I don't know what I need to upgrade to fix. I guess if it is a train throughput problem, then it's very easy to fix and it won't break anything even if it isn't. So let's just get another train on this line. 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so you are assigned to iron ore group, which is, you go to the input until you're empty, go to the output until you're full, and otherwise, if you can't do either, then you just go to something random. Alright, so that train is off and running. And who knows if that's even necessary or not, but it won't hurt anything. If there is a problem, it'll just spend a lot of time sitting in a stop doing nothing. Which is apparently what it's doing now. So heading to Hjorvir. That is the automatically generated name for the stops that aren't being used for anything. I think I just saw an iron ore train driving around just now. Where are you going? Oh, that's this. Yeah, okay, so it's stopped there. Wait, why though? There's definitely a stop here that could have a train go to it. Oh, maybe you're trying to go to an output, but there wasn't any space there. I bet that's what happened. I only have like two... I only have 2 ore production things. Alright, so then this is just about finished producing that batch of iron plates. And it's loading up this train, which is like weirdly spaced like that. Alright. Alright, is that... Yeah, so that's some iron, at least, from the smaller ore production spot, I guess. So that's not going to keep this full thing running at full capacity, but at least it is something. At least we have some iron ore coming in on a semi-regular basis. And then we have a bunch of trains waiting at various other places as well. Alright, so that is looking fine. This has that weird whole second train output thing. So it looks like we now have a steady supply of iron plates. Almost got hit by that train coming out of nowhere. Also looks like we're producing concrete again, which is nice. So we have... Okay, we apparently have a steady supply of iron plates now. Now we just have to check if they're making it up to the steel. So we're going to run over this way. And up here. And I should get some of these trees off of my path. Just to speed it up a little bit. So here's the stone and landfill production. Oh, we have proper landfill production here. So we don't even need that other one down there. I forgot we'd done that. Although that is still temporary. So I don't want to rely on it. So then we have this steel plate, which is not getting any iron. Doesn't look like it has gotten any iron in quite some time. So we have 2 trains waiting at the iron plate output already. And a third heading somewhere. Where are you going? So this is one of the problems, that because all the trains are named the same thing, it's somewhat hard to tell where exactly it's going. So yeah, I think the problem is that like this station is somehow lower priority, or it's just not getting picked as a destination for whatever reason. Because we have our trains at the iron plate place getting filled up. And theoretically they should be coming here. Okay, I just had a thought, actually. How's the factory? We are working on getting this less terrible. So, I just had a thought for this, which is, I think we want to take that out, and the reason for that is, yes, I am pretty far in. We have a lot of stuff. So yeah, just this is like the new factory that we're constructing. This is the old factory, which we're still relying on for production of a lot of stuff. And then down here is the resource extraction with, you know, all the mines and everything. We're going for a train-based system. So what I just thought is, yeah, it looks really clean from a distance, and when everything is functional. It looks a lot less clean when there are trains just piled up in these intersections for various places because I placed the wrong type of signal. It's still very much a work in progress. So if we set that to not have the inactivity marker when it's waiting at the destination, then they won't hog the iron plate input, or they won't hog the output destinations. So now they should just, now if we put another train here, oh, I just crafted one, which I needed to do, and then we have to craft all of those. So now if we put this train in, and we call it into the iron plates group, set it to manual, or set it to automatic, it should go to the iron plates output, fill up, come back here, and then it should only leave when it actually needs to. And that'll also save fuel, which is not a huge deal, but it is something. And I think I want to do that for like all of the trains, basically. That's how I'm doing it in Satisfactory, and it works quite nicely. Yeah, I have the problem is I made these blueprints. Okay, what's that? Is that fine? Oh, that's in here. Okay, they've gotten through to a power pole. That's probably very bad. So let's drop what we were doing and head down there. Down we go. Wait, actually, where is this supposed to be? It was this corner here by the iron patch. Alright, so we gotta run down there and see what's going on, because that was a lot of destruction. And if they're getting through to power poles, then that's an issue. If they're just blowing up, you know, turrets and walls and stuff, then it's not an issue because I have spares of those for a reason. But if they are actually getting through to the power poles, then that could cause the entire thing to crash, which would be very bad. Alright, so we're here, and the problem is they're attacking from this direction, which is basically only covered by, like, that one gun turret. Alright, so let's just make that better then. Yeah, every other part of the factory is just like, oh, I need one turret here, a single line of walls will do, and then there's this one corner which is just under, like, permanent attack. It's gotta be all, like, double walled and everything. Alright, so that should hopefully help solve that problem. Now we have more laser turrets pointing in that direction. Have you died to a train yet? Yes, I believe 2 or 3 times. I have also had, like, a good significant number of near-death experiences where, like, either I was hit by the train but it was going too slow and I lived, or a couple times where I've, like, juked away at the last minute. It's just the sort of thing that you have to deal with here. Also, I don't like this train existing. It never goes anywhere, but, like, it never goes anywhere, but I just don't like the fact that it is there being stressful. So let's... Actually, this is all just going to go into my trash spaces, isn't it? That's convenient. Alright. Because every time I walk past that train, I think, oh no, there's a train with multiple different types of resources on it. We're doomed. The things have been mixed. But no, that train is... It just sits in the stop forever doing nothing. But I don't like that it exists, so we're going to get rid of it. Also, what has happened to my inventory? How do I have literally 2 free spaces? Alright, so this... I don't have any free space in there, right? So this personal roboport and this personal battery are just definitely not needed. Alright, so you can go into that box. I don't really need radars on a regular basis. I can get rid of those. All the rest of this stuff... Okay, the small electrical poles I don't need. That's not in this, right? Right. Okay, then what else is optional? See, the thing is, I use, like, all of these things regularly, and a lot of these things I'm looking at, I'm like, gee, I could use a couple more stacks of those. It's probably fine, though. Alright, so now we head out. And I see... I think I see just another swarm of biters heading toward that same corner. Although they might be headed towards a different corner. It's hard to tell with biters where exactly they're going. Back when the factory was small and simple, it was pretty predictable, but now they just sort of hit wherever. Okay. Nope, it is that same corner. Because it always is. I should just figure out where they're coming from and destroy the nest, honestly. I shouldn't just be leaving it like that. Well, I've done that a couple times, and that corner still keeps getting attacked. So who knows at that point. Okay. So we cross over here. And we just keep on walking. Okay. Up here. And over to this. So the steel, still no good. So we have 3 trains waiting at inputs, and only 1 waiting at the output. So apparently we just need even more trains, is the lesson Oh, wait, I don't need to craft even more trains because I have one. I just need to craft one more of those. So you get all of those and our iron plates group. Off you go. Good luck, Mr. Train. Hopefully you will eventually figure out how to get all the way out here to the steel beams. Okay, what was destroyed just now? A laser turret, but in a different location? Where are you? Ooh, that's probably bad. I don't know if I have drone coverage out to that iron patch. I probably do, but I'm not sure. Alright. Yeah, I think you get inactivity removed. And also we don't need that anymore. So you're just going to sit here until you're empty. And that's fine because we're just going to have one train per destination. And that'll just be the way that works. Alright. Now we should run down to check out that iron patch. See if it has drone coverage. If it has drone coverage, then it's fine and it's a wasted trip. But I don't think it does. Actually, I can do that. Does it? It does not. Alright. So we're going to have to run down there and do some replacing. And also just bring drone coverage down there so that we don't have to do that anymore. Alright, down we go. Oh, there we go. Yep. That was expected. So we're just gonna respawn real quick. Yep. It's entirely your fault for asking about it. No, I should have been paying attention. I definitely saw it coming like a split second ahead and could have theoretically reacted in time, but I was not ready for it. Alright, we're just going to let that train go by. And where even was this? Up here. Let's get onto the path. It's just sort of a thing that happens when your entire factory is based around having billions of trains. Alright, how do you... There's a... Oh, you can just dismantle the corpse, right? And that does it? Okay, but then I have to find my power armor to give myself the inventory slots that I need for this. Alright, so that is all set. What are those guys doing? I think they just... Okay, also I took a train out there. Put those tracks back in. Make gates that only open if a train is not going by using combinators. That seems fancy. Yeah, I've still never crafted anything relating to combinators. So we've just been doing things manually. I should probably figure those out at some point. It seems like this sort of thing which could be very handy to have for just controlling things properly. I've seen people do insane things with them, like on other people's like YouTube videos, but I just don't know how to do something like that. Alright, so yeah, this area is under attack and does not have drone coverage. So first of all, we're just going to stand here and our repair drones will fix everything up. And then put you in, and we just have to run these back all the way to the main base. And at least so far, the biters have not been super enthusiastic about destroying random drone ports. So this has been fine every other time I've done it. Hopefully it's fine now. Alright, so that gets the connection in, and now they should automatically repair themselves whenever something happens down there. Alright, so that's good to go. And now we head back up north. Alright, actually, instead of heading up north, let's head to the science, because we have this Covarex. How do you get through this area? Just give me some gates here, please, so I can get through that wall. So I'm going to head over to the science and make sure that it's going well for the last 8% of Covarex enrichment. I'm just going to stand here and get the concrete in. Alright. So off to the science. And it is an incredibly scuffed setup, but it has been functioning somewhat. Alright. So, what are you missing? You're missing the electric furnaces. And is that... I assume it's because... Where's the box for it? Yeah, so logistics storage has 113 electric furnaces, but there are none on the way. And I think at this point I would expect there to be more than that. That's probably that same corner. It's probably fine. Alright, electric furnaces, what are you missing? You seem to be short on steel. Yep, of course you are. Because everything is short on steel, because the old factory's steel production is still being run off of, like, the oldest possible technology. Alright, so I can at least partially fix this. This is something that I was going to do previously, is requester chest, give you a bulk inserter. This requester chest is just going to grab some steel from the new factory and send it to the old factory so that it can technically be functional. And then it's just going to be a question of, first of all, getting the steel down here, and also just checking if that is still producing properly. So we have to go back up north now to see if our steel production has started working like I want it to. If the answer is it still hasn't, I'm going to be very upset. Alright. Just run along up here. I really should get rid of those trees that are just on the path, as well as various other things, but this path is not super well organized, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. Alright. I was about to say no sign of any iron plates, and then right on cue they showed up at exactly that moment. So we have steel production, at least to some extent, and it has to do this weird pattern of going all the way around and then in, because I don't know what I was doing when I designed this, but it's ultimately not a big deal. The bigger deal is the significant amount of time that it spent idle doing nothing. Alright, so we have steel. It's making its way into this passive provider chest. Most of it is just not, though. Most of it's just going into these. So that passive provider chest is now passively providing for the entire south bus setup. So there it goes. All the steel it's built up is just going to be taken away down there. But at least it is producing. And then theoretically, as this... How is this so slow? Like, it's actually incredible how slow this is. And also how much steel, how much iron plates it uses. It's like, even if we were to speed it up a lot, then we would just not have... Then we would just, like, not have steel. But then, okay, that's not great. Like, we would be using up a huge amount of iron plates doing that, and then we wouldn't actually be going much faster. Alright, so it has delivered its cargo of iron plates, and now it'll be off. So we are making steel, which means that the Covarex enrichment research can continue. But this remains an incredibly embarrassing amount of steel. So we need to speed this up some more. Fortunately, this seems to be nowhere near a belt's worth. Oh, we instantly... Well, not instantly, but very quickly get another full train's worth. That's a good sign. That makes it seem like things are working properly now. So, if we're going to have a ton of iron coming here, then we need to work on getting this to produce faster. So, in order to do that, first step is going to be stopping it temporarily, because we need to build some stuff. Now, if we... So this is going to be the easy way of doing this. If we just do that, and... Let's see, send this over like that. It's a game with almost infinite space. You're always worried about using too much space making big square train factories. I mean, the thing is, right, the game has infinite space. However, what you need to consider is that the player character does not have infinite movement speed. So, like, this factory is very big, and the amount of time I spend walking around it is also very big. So that's something that is worth considering as a reason to build more compactly. Now, I don't think it's a serious problem, but it is, like, a minor nuisance that you should be aware of. Alright, I need more electrical furnaces? No, we were just waiting for them to... You pretty much do have infinite movement speeds with bots being able to build anything anywhere. Yes, but, like, that's also all effort to set up. And you still do need to move places sometimes. Like, if you want to... you can't literally just sit in one spot for the entirety of the game. It's like that is an option. Also, like, building off the player's drone port is also just way faster than waiting half an hour for the drones to show up from across the planet. Alright. Anyways, let's get these hooked up so that this can be producing again. I can't see because of these trees. Take those down. Yeah, the amount of times where I've like designated some stuff to get built and just like been waiting for like, oh, they did 7 of the 8 power poles, but they didn't do the 8th one, and so now we're just waiting for half an hour is incredibly high. Obviously half an hour is an exaggeration, but the delays are real. Alright, then you go back into there. And that's going to be at least a little bit quicker. So that is going along. And is this using the full belt? It doesn't look like it, at least based on that top one. That's fully saturated. This is getting there as well. And then we seem to have somehow disconnected that. I don't know how that random underground belt got in there. So there we go. And now we get to fill up more of that. And we just need even more still, I think. Because this is still very slow. So, how about we just... How much of this do I need to copy paste? I think just that much. Alright. Actually, it's going to be a problem with the drone ports if we go too crazy, so we're going to just take a shorter section, I think. Not that short, though. Just... copy like up to here maybe, and then this can go in there, and power poles will hopefully work themselves out. Alright, so that is going along. And now we just have to wait for all this stuff to get built. Speaking of drones being slow sometimes, what is taking you so long? There we go. They just had to come from far away. I'm very impatient. I expect it to use my personal inventory as the first priority, but it seems to keep choosing to not do that. Alright, there they come. And all that stuff gets built in. And now we're just missing the furnaces, which they're light blue, so someone has been tasked with delivering the furnaces. And here they come. Alright, so that's going along. The steel is outputting. Eventually these boxes will fill, and then it'll get more focused. Because like currently, half of it's going to here. Alright. Just a couple more of these left to go. And yeah, it seems like they're just about taking the steel out of that box as fast as it can go in. But there is still a bit of a buffer in there. And then we have these 3 furnaces, which are not being built. Okay, so we just need to get the iron in. So that goes onto those. Now this belt goes around... I don't really know what I'm doing here, just sort of... This goes up to here. This is not the most well-designed blueprint for this, but it should function at least barely. And barely functioning is good enough for me. Alright, so then this... Why is that belt going the wrong way? I don't know why it always does that. Alright, so then that goes there. And then we need to connect this one up as well. And we're not fully using both sides of the belt properly there, but that's fine. I mean, it's just going into some boxes anyways, and we're not using anywhere near even one full side of a belt, much less two. Okay, it looks like this is now, at least temporarily, making full use of what this is outputting. So then we just have to copy all this down here. And I guess technically we can overlap that there and it won't break anything. So there we go. And then those, we're just going to have to do all that. And then figure out where all the belts go. Yeah, the bots launching cliff bombs is very funny. I just wish that the bots could like launch grenades at biters automatically. That would be hilarious. Though I think there are some bots that do that, actually. I don't know. If there are, I haven't built them. Alright, so then this belt has to go down this way. And then this all has to be... There's some defensive boss, but not a grenade one. Well, that's disappointing. That's like the coolest kind. That's the kind that you would want to have. Alright, so that is all going now. And let's see, so now we just have to get the steel out. So it's going to go there. And there. And then these just need to combine up with that. Like that. And like that. Alright. That should be more steel production than our iron plate input can handle. Which is, of course, the correct amount of steel production to have. So that is going nicely now. And this box is now also filling up, which means that it's going faster than the drones can handle. So that's good. I mean, ideally the drones would go faster so that they could handle it, but, you know. Alright, looks like we still have plenty of spare logistic spots, because I sort of just crafted a bunch of them and never turned it off and used like a huge amount of resources building 2,000 of them. Now we're up to using 1,000 of them just like at any given time, which is pretty cool. Maybe eventually we'll have to build more, but probably not for a while. Alright, so this is still just filling that up. Are these going? Yes. These rows are starting to backlog. That's nice. We don't want to store too much because that's just wasteful for the iron plates, really. We just need to store enough to be able to fill up a train, basically. And in the future, if we're have weird situations where we have two trains that could potentially come back to back, then we might want to fill these boxes up more, but just enough to approximately fill up a train should be good enough. Alright, so that is that. Now we're just receiving all the electric furnaces, which I would really rather be going to the Kovarex production, but I guess that's fine. Also, this has an underground belt there for some reason. That's cutting it off. So we can put that in. And that's going to be a fun little wave of steel. There we go. Alright, steel production should be fine for the foreseeable future. Then the next thing is... okay, Defender, which is lasers, Poison Cloud, Slowdown, Distractor, and Destroyer. Yeah, I think I've never built any of those. Okay, what is going on down there? A whole bunch of construction bots. They keep doing this. I need to figure out a way to make them not get themselves killed trying to repair in the middle of an attack. Like, I guess it's probably good because the attacks are destroying laser turrets. But we are eventually going to use a lot of construction bots doing that. Alright, what was I even doing? I ran down here for some reason, but I forgot what it was. Oh, I was going to check on the science, I think. So let's do that. Science should be over this way, I think. There are some additional defensive options. I have not tried Dragon's Teeth walls. Oh, is that... I think I've seen something like that where you have the weird plus signs out in front or something. Yeah, I haven't really put much thought into my defenses more than just place more laser turrets. Yeah. Okay, so let's head out here. And the problem really is the acid spitters. I think I might just blow up a nest. It's probably this nest, right? Just coming straight down. I'm surprised it's not going that way, considering it's millimeters away, but I guess this is more pollution. So let's just go deal with them. Also, apparently this area is very insecure. Jeez, that was just straight up a gap in the defenses. That's not good. So first of all, some laser turrets. Second of all, a second layer of walls. And third of all, drone coverage. There we go. So now gaps like that won't happen anymore, and that should be fine. Alright. Now we should depart. So this is going to be... yeah, there's just giant swarms there. Oh, this is where I built... this is where I was messing around with the blueprints earlier. I wonder if that angered them some. Alright. There you go. Just gonna build that real quick. Please get it operational. Get the power poles in. Get the power poles in. Dang it. Alright, that's not going well. I wonder if I can distract any... no, I've just pulled more biters. That's not ideal. Alright, I think we got the power in. We got the power in, and it's all fine now. Okay. Is it also possible to tell certain defenses to shoot at certain targets? Oh, yeah, you can do that. That is an option, I think. Alright, so that is the giant swarm cleared out. So now we just have to build another one of these just in their base, and then laser them down. There we go. I think we probably just lost some construction robots doing this. Alright. Why is my... Okay. Apparently range is an issue. So we just need one more of these. I could do this more manually, but that's just easier. Alright, so those guys are all gone. And that should be that dealt with. I'm pretty sure that was the nest that was causing those major attacks. There are other nests in the vicinity, but that's the one that was most dangerous. It's a funny solution. It is very effective for just building stuff up quick. I think the exact blueprint is not optimal. In fact, I should probably fix it. But just being able to slap it down, just build like a bunch of lasers all at once with drones is very, very, very handy. I've tried like messing with the nests with tanks and stuff, and it's just so much harder than just placing down lasers. Yeah, yep, definitely everything can be improved, but like there are clear issues. Like there are more walls than there needs to be, which means that the drones, the lasers, spend time building the walls instead of the laser turrets and the power poles, which are the important part. So I think, I'm not sure if I would completely get rid of the walls, but I think I might. Yeah, I should just fix that here. So let's just build this. Alright, so this internal wall is definitely terrible. This back laser turret actually causes problems. Yeah, because what that back laser turret has done in the past is that the biters will go way more aggressive if there's a turret nearby, and that back laser turret gets built first because it's near the back where I am. And because of that, it pulls aggro from the biters when that one is built before the main like laser battery is ready, which is not ideal. So I think, I don't know, maybe something like this would be better. Just like if they come from straight on, there's a wall there. If they try to go around the side, there's a bit of a wall there as well. But if they go, like, if they're going all the way like this, they're going to get lasered before they do that. That shouldn't be an issue. So let's do this as turret box. Yeah, let's just call it turret box. It's not really a box anymore, is it? But it's at least something resembling a box. So then we get rid of what even is this? I didn't even know I had this old blueprint. This is turret box 2, which we don't need. And we put that in. There we go. So that should hopefully be improved. Because yeah, it's important that you be able to build it in like one wave or approximately one wave. So there we go. Alright, now back down to the science. We're at 98% actually. The science is probably doing fine. Really what I want to check on is how is the steel related stuff going? And also, can I just run a path down this, because we're probably going to need a path there at some point. Alright, there goes a whole bunch of the supplies. It's so fun seeing those long lines of drones headed towards you. Alright, so science. We do technically have purple science being produced. It's an incredibly cursed setup, but it is apparently working. And it's working well enough that we're having to send rails to it. Are all of these working? No, just the first one is working. It's not surprising. Can I just... I could speed that up, but it's probably like 1 or 2 left. Let's see, where are these? There. You can get some of those. And then off you go. That should produce the last couple. And also help for future purple science, because this is by far not the only purple science recipe that we want to make. And in fact, since I've built it, it's not even that urgent anymore. Like, I have plenty of uranium sorted out by this point. Power, when I put that in, power was urgent, and I was worried I would need this in order to get a reasonable amount of the light green uranium. Now it's just going to be handy for more future stuff. Alright, so there we go. It's all looking good, and now we are back to this being short on rails because they take forever to deliver. And the iron is somewhat better. Hey, we finished the science. And yes, that was our first production science pack because I am bad at deciding what order to do things. Okay. What is next? Inserter capacity bonus. I don't think we really have issues with inserter capacity, do we? What about robot cargo size or robot speed? Let's do robot speed. That would help a lot as well, assuming we did. We have all of those types of science, right? Yeah, we do. Cool. All right. So now we have Covarex enrichment. We can... Do we even have the ability to do that? Let's head up and see what it's looking like at the old nuclear power plant. Up we go. And let's see. I don't want to have to go to the left there. Oh. So this is very much inside the factory. That doesn't even need to be a wall anymore. Could probably take those turrets out. I think I'll leave it just in case something bizarre happens. It's not like power is an issue at the moment because nuclear power is great. Let's get rid of these trees that are just like directly on the path. There we go. Now we can walk through there comfortably. And we bring the path up here. Just gotta get these trees off. There we go. And the nuclear situation, we are actually still somewhat having a shortage of the fancy light green stuff, which is what, 235, right? Yeah, we still have something of a 235 shortage here. So let's figure out, we're just going to need more centrifuges, I guess. Alright, time to craft another 50 centrifuges. Where are those? There they are. Oh, that's going to require crafting 100 gears manually? Yikes. Well, I guess that's just going to happen. So that goes in. And then this line is going to go off this way. No, don't paste that. I meant to copy. We have these loaders with settings that I don't want to have to reset. Alright, so that goes in. And more centrifuging. And then I guess we'll queue up another one, because we need even more centrifuging. at all times if we ever want to get Covrex enrichment happening. Oh, the worker robot speed is already at 10% almost. It's so nice having reasonable production rates on your science projects as opposed to just going for like probably the most expensive one right off the bat. Alright, so those go in. I really should just be copy-pasting this entire thing. Alright. So then that. And the power gets brought there. And they don't seem to... Oh, you have to put a recipe in this? Oh, I guess you do. There you go, you all get recipes. And please produce more funny green stuff. What is going on over here? Seemingly every single drone on the planet has decided that this is the station it wants to stop at. I do not know why that is. I guess it's just like a corner. But this is a very busy station. And also the boring uranium is starting to fill up this setup that I have here. And we're still nowhere near 50 of the fun stuff. So I guess we just need more of this. Okay, tree is in the way. Dismantle the tree. Alright. And now we just have to hook those up to power where it's missing. And now we have even more uranium storage, which hopefully we're even like getting a positive amount of this. Actually, this might be more than it looks like. Let's see, because if that's like 4 per belt, and that's a good couple of belts. Alright. Let's craft more centrifuges, because why not? If I try to order it to craft 2 at a time, then it'll get scared and make me craft 1 billion gears, which I don't really want. Alright, so let's just start by picking up all of that. This is so different from Satisfactory, where holding 21 uranium in your pocket would be a bad idea. Alright, so that's 20 some. That's fine. And you need 40 for the Covrex refining. Yep, the funny green rocks. We need more of them. Which means we're just going to keep crafting up these centrifuges and placing them in. Alright. I really should have learned my lesson by now and just copy-pasted this entire thing. I guess I can still do that. It's not too late. Okay, don't know what happened there, but that's fine. No, just get rid of the tree. Just go away. Don't do underground belts when you don't need to. There we go. And then fill in that gap. Okay, what's going on down there? More construction bots are getting destroyed. Where was that construction bot? 18 plus entities are being damaged. Alright, that corner is still being attacked, unfortunately. Oh no, that's a slightly different corner. It was that corner, now it's that one. And we lost another one. Okay. Apparently I placed a radar around here at some point. Okay, this is just hilariously inadequate defenses. I don't know what's going on down there. That needs to be fixed. So, down we go. And wait for that train to pass. And hopefully get through before that other train tries to go through. Alright. Looks like we need paths here in case we want to head south. And then we have to get all the way down to past that and then turn here-ish maybe. Okay, can I just get over here? Alright. So now we're here. So this area is getting attacked by biters, but it's all under control. I'll just slap down another one of those in, just to be sure. And then there's this corner, which somehow is defended exclusively by a gun turret that doesn't have ammo. How did that even happen? Alright, so you go away. You get a laser turret. And I guess we're going to have to expand the walls out for space reasons. So that is going to be that. And then power and power. And then I guess we'll cover the new corner as well. There. Alright, that has gone from hilariously badly defended to actually properly defended. Probably a bit overkill there. Good luck, you gotta get ready for a wedding rehearsal. Have fun. That should be exciting. Yeah, see you next time, hopefully. Alright, so what's going on next? Next up on the list of things to do is, I guess, try to make some more forward progress. Oh, what I should do is I should do some quick automation. So we head over to this area because this is where all the nightmarishly bad automation tricks I have are done. And I need to automate chain signals because I have somehow never done that. So we do conveniently have green circuits and iron plates just right here, so I don't even need to do anything funny. I can just plop down a machine. Give you an input and a long input. Please make chain signals, and then output to a passive provider chest. Speaking of which, did I just forget to put passive provider chests in the system? Not in logistics network. Alright, well, I guess we'll fix that, because I know I'm crafting them. Oh, also, I should make sure not to go too crazy with this. We need, like, a stack. And then we need to set that to give us, like, a stack. There we go. So now we don't have to worry about that again. And apparently I'm receiving all sorts of resupplies there. Gosh, once these drones are faster, it's going to be great. Like, the drone speed upgrades are such a massive improvement in terms of quality of life. Alright. Okay, so they are in the logistics network. They just aren't for some reason. Alright, so I don't know how that happened, but... Oh. Wait, no. I know exactly how that happened now. Because those are two different belts. So this... So this is all suffering from the steel problem, right? Like, there's never any steel that gets over here. Because of how absolutely catastrophic it is. Which means that we just don't get any steel to get any passive provider chests. And the rest of these are also suffering the same problem, looks like. So hopefully... Yeah, I mean, all of the steel is apparently just going over here to desperately try to keep up with how many drone ports I build. That checks out. Gosh, when you move while zoomed in, it looks like you're going so fast, but you're just not. You're just going at normal speed. Alright. Electric furnaces are going... Steel does seem to be going pretty slow. Although back here it's going faster, but that's... What are these guys doing here? Okay. I've determined what's happening, and it's very stupid. Don't... Stop it. Get some help. So what's happening was that the drones were putting steel onto this belt. This belt is then wrapping around and going down here to put steel into this box where they're taking from to put steel into that belt, and they were just taking it in a dumb triangle for no reason. So now that that's not happening, now that that is no longer happening, this should be somewhat more sensible, hopefully. And then I think we can actually speed this up. So if we set that to 400, then it'll commit more drones to the job, which should mean that it goes faster in terms of actual numbers. Assuming, of course, that there is steel to send to it, which there very well might not be. It's been a while since it got any, I guess because it's not doing the shortcut anymore. Power is still fine. I really need to check that less. Like, if I build 50 new factories, then maybe it's worth checking, but I'm just not doing all that much that requires power at the moment. But I keep just habitually checking power lines every so often. Alright. So, head over. Yeah, there is definitely a good solid swarm of steel carrying drones heading down. And now we head up. And check on steel production. Please say it is going fine. Let me through. Alright, so... Alright, so that's what's happened there. These need to be linked together. And that's something that I need to be aware of when doing this in the future, is that that sort of thing can happen. Alright, so this has to loop around that way, and then that still goes there. So now that can go back to, frankly, not doing much, but producing some landfill. Did I not set this? I did not. There we go. We do not need to produce thousands of landfill. We are not planning to fill in the Atlantic Ocean anytime soon. Alright, then over at the steel production side, things are going. We just need to throw a power pole on you and you. Although it looks like we are managing to use all of the iron, at least down here. Although it is getting close. It is getting close to where this is filled up. I mean, it's pretty much saturated now, honestly. We're just waiting for like the last little bits inside the machines and on the last couple belts. So that's nice. The top half obviously has finished already because it's not outputting into this. Which I guess it could, but I don't think the number of provider chests is the issue. It's nice to see that steel production has taken off. And let's see. Alright. Let's get more production in for various buildings that I haven't already automated. Renegade, hello. So, for example, the electrical poles and substations. It'd be nice to have those automated, just so that I don't have to constantly be worrying about running out while fighting biters. It's not a huge deal, but it would be nice to have. Yep, this is a game about automation, and I hardly ever use them, but I do sometimes use them. So that's probably enough of a reason to automate them. There's one there doing nothing useful. Alright, so let's get over to the area where we do the lazy quick automation with drone powered stuff. Okay, I was convinced that train was going to hit me, even though I wasn't even on a track at the time. But it didn't. Alright. It is possible to build with the bots from map mode. It is. And I should probably... You have to like place radars and stuff for that, right? I should probably be putting radars around. Actually, that could be another thing that we automate. So plates, gear wheels, and circuits are for radars. So is there an area around here that has all of those things just conveniently? Yes, it is right here. Alright, let's see if I can squeeze this in. So gear wheels, circuits, plates. And you are going to make radars. So you get powered, and then you output to a passive provider chest, which only needs like one stack. And then we can make that into this. And just give us a stack of radars at all times. There we go. And now I guess... How does radar coverage work? Is there like a nice tag to show where that is? Doesn't seem like it. Alright, well, in you go. Continuous coverage distance 3, exploration coverage distance 14. I wish I knew what those numbers meant. Like 3 what? Is it 3 chunks or something? Because I know that when you do have radars, you can zoom in and do this. and like set stuff up from here. And then when you don't... Wait, you can still? Do I have a radar here? I actually have no idea. I have no idea how those works. But whatever. We have radars now. So that's nice. Then, what else do I want lots of? I'm already using that. Oh, another thing that I wanted was... Where is it? It's possible to build with the bots from map modes. Yes, that is... That's good. I actually think that was an old comment that I just didn't see. Alright. Steel plates, plastic bars, explosives. Explosives, explosives, explosives. I think I have explosives. I don't think they're connected to the drone network. So let's see. Explosives are there. Steel plates are there. Plastic. Do I have plastic in the vicinity? I feel like I should, right? Yes, it is right here. Alright. So we just need to find a way of getting this done. So if we just have you in, we can split off some of those. And take that up. Alright, so that is steel plates. Check. I should have built this like 5 inches to the right. And that would have made this easier. But it's still fine. Explosives, check. Now the plastic. Why do these need plastic? Okay, and apparently you can also make explosive cannon shells using more explosives. So the cannon shells do more physical damage and pierce better and stuff, but the explosive shells do more AoE damage. And they're made with the same thing, so hopefully I could just set up both of them. Let's get the plastic up here and then figure out how to set up 2 lines instead of just 1. Alright, so this should be able to just, like, do that. And then it's up here. And now we have to figure out how to get this. Alright, I have an idea. What's that? More turrets are being destroyed in various places. Alright, so if I have that going to those 2, then that loops up, and that goes up. Then you get those, you go down a little more and go in there. You all get powered up. Then you all get powered up, and you make cannon shells, and you make explosive cannon shells. Then you can each output to one of those, and we'll just have 2 stacks, I guess. And that will be cool. And I really shouldn't be just adding these to basic, but that's what I'm gonna do. So there we go, and then I can also make this smaller. So I don't need that much ammo on me. I can save 2 spaces that way, and then It's like I have the same inventory as previously. Except this time I have cannon shells for when I do that. Oh, they've gotten through to an electric furnace. That's not good. Alright, up we go. Okay, don't get hit by a train. Yeah, okay, they've gotten in the middle of somewhere weird again. Up we go, and why are you in here? What are you doing in there? Why that one? Why not this one? Or that one? Or that one? Why a random one in the middle? Spiders are weird, man. They make no sense. Also, where did it come from? Come from that? Must have. There's no other biter nest within a million miles. I guess maybe it could come all the way down from there, but... Alright. Oh yeah, they're creeping along here. I can see them. Alright, so let's set up some defenses in that area, just in case I need to fall back. And did I ever do that? I think I did, right? Yeah, I did. Just got immediately distracted. Alright, then what I want to do is try to take these biters on the manual way. I have 4 of each type of cannon shell, which is not a lot. Alright, so we fill up the tank. Give it some fuel. Give it some explosive shells. And some firearm ammo. And get this pistol out of here. I don't need you. Alright, so the tank is all set up and ready to go. I'll throw in 2 more explosive shells before we roll out. Now let's see how this goes. Okay, the answer is that there are a lot of biters with ranged attacks there, and it's going to go very poorly for me. Okay. Let's get... Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good at all. I may have accidentally driven my tank into the power pole and then just sent it off into the woods for some reason. Yeah, the tank's just over there now. I guess rip tank. Okay, let's put that power pole back. That went about as poorly as it could have. Alright, let's get... I took the power pole out instead of just the laser turrets. It is very, very easy to accidentally delete a power pole instead of all the things around the power pole. Alright. So that's all in. Let's just double pull this just so that nothing weird happens. Okay. So the Operation Blow Them Up with the Tank has catastrophically failed. So now we get to test our new turret box at least, so that'll be fun. Alright, so we get that over there. And then we build that. And, oh, I forgot to connect it up. Hurry, robots. Build the things. Alright, cool. We're functional. And now we just need to build another one in their face to get rid of the last couple. 38 losses. 33 construct... How did that many construction bots get destroyed by that? Like, how is that even possible? Alright, but success. 33 construction bots is not that bad of a price to pay for wiping out a biter nest. And mission accomplished. Now we dismantle all of that. And where even are the construction bots that I'm using for this? Because I figured they would have all been destroyed. Apparently not. Alright, biter's nest gone. But it is getting a bit dicey. Alright, let's go get rid of that train, that tank wreckage. Yeah, so it's getting a bit hairy with getting rid of the biter's nest, just because there's so many ranged biters in there. But we'll have to figure out how to deal with that next time. I think we're going to wind up the stream here. So thanks everyone for hanging out. We made a lot of progress. We fixed up a lot of train-related logistic stuff. We automated a couple things. We're speeding up uranium refinery. Actually, how well is that going? Can I just zoom in on this and see? It's somewhat better. We're working on it. We need to get up to like 40 of the light green stuff before we can just start printing it out. And hopefully that'll be soon. We're also doing researches, working along as usual. And the steel production is sort of producing. I would say it's really producing, but sort of happening. So yeah, made good progress for the day. And that's going to be about it. So I will be streaming Satisfactory tomorrow, where we are starting on our rocket fuel factory, which is going to take absolutely ages to build. So that'll be fun. And then we'll be back to Factorio on Tuesday. So yeah, I stream every weekday from 2 to 5 Eastern Time, so if you're interested in factory game related content, then this is the place to go. Make sure to follow if you haven't already. And that's about it. I will see you guys next time.